Yeah, we got to see Pixxyl's team from the very start. We've seen Luch a lot as we watched him since game number 1. We do see a Sunny first pick. 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 was banned on the side of Pixxyl. Pixxyl opts to ban the Inky. 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 is picked by Pixxyl as well. As we wait to see what the second pick is going to be. He opts to go with Naga, which is good into the Skunch, is good into the 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏. So that being picked up doesn't surprise me in the least bit. Naga is actually so good here. The only thing that stops Naga from just sweeping is literally the 𝗬𝗏𝗺 itself. So we see 2Kai being picked up. 𝗬𝗏𝗺 Noxious Bomb does obliterate this 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏. So probably going to be a double switch from Pixxyl to just not die. Saku's actually very strong as well. Into at least the 𝗬𝗏𝗺 from 2Kai opening. We do see 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 being banned by Pixxyl. So we could see like a Saku. Saku's like the safest swap in here, but banning Saku might feel a bit bad if you're Luch because you have the 2 fires in the back. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. See 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗏 being banned actually. I guess that's a fair enough ban. This could be water custodian Naga as well. That could be also a possibility. And if that's the case, that means the 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 is actually allowed to stay in here this turn. Naga will die, of course. Actually, Naga will probably die to WCL first. So the Noxious Bomb will go first. Well, I'll go afterwards to kill the 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏. Unless of course the Naga is spread to live a WCL potentially as well. Focus is picked up as well. Probably going to see Saku's weird here. It's probably better than Inky. Inky's only good into the 2Kai. Like the only thing it's good into. Everything else it kinda just struggles. Like really hard actually. But Saku's just weak to the 2 fires in the back. Gets hard counted by the Toucan as well. So I think Saku is probably just the better choice as it just beats 𝗬𝗏𝗺. It does well into the 𝗬𝗀𝗺 with the resin trap, and it does well into the 2Kai as well. So I think Saku is the choice here. I don't know what Inky is really doing. I guess it just hits 2Kai and Raiken pretty well. That's all it does. Which could be important, I suppose. Yeah, but Saku is the choice. I think that is the correct one for sure. Now the question is this water custodian Naga or is this Deceit Aura? If it's water custodian and it can live a WCL, 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 will be safe this specific turn. If we watch the entire of the Pixxyl Legacy set, we probably would know what tier this Naga is, but as of right now it's currently a mystery. It is very possible it's water custodian with the Drakash being on the team as well. I think it dies because synergy on top. We see Plasma Beam. So it is a water custodian, so the Plasma Beam 2 negated damage, so it probably doesn't die. It doesn't. So we do see the 𝗬𝗏𝗺 hit the Naga. Doesn't kill it, so 4.2%. 𝗬𝗏𝗺 comes out onto the 2Kai. I do believe the 2Kai, does it have Tsunami? So Noxious Bomb, Feather, Tornado. It might have the Tsunami on it, on this moveset, or it might have access to Million Pansuns. I don't know what the force moveset is for this Tem, but if it's not Tsunami, then I believe it's Tsunami. I think we've seen the Tsunami from Luch. I think it's Tsunami. But I think 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 probably wants to swap out this Tem. 𝗬𝗏𝗺 actually backs out. It looks like 𝗬𝗀𝗇𝗏 stays in actually. As heated, Toucan comes in, 𝗹𝗶𝗺 is used. brings down to 44.9. It does not have Tsunami, so Naga will just drop this turn. This would have been a good board state for Inky on second thought, actually. The Inky that was left behind. So I suppose the choice as of right now is Focus. I suppose you go Focus here, and you just double the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 with harmful microwaves and probably beta burst to just finish it off. That will definitely kill, and then Focus is also very good into the Roller in the back as well. Hedgehog still being alive is actually pretty huge for the side of Pixxyl, as 𝗬𝗏𝗃 just leaves, kinda has to. We see Viking coming with the whip onto the Toucan. Nado comes out onto Kura. All the way down to 39.3%. Plasma Beam once again is used. Probably just not to OX. Beta Burst comes out. And another move will just take out the Riken. We probably will see Hedgehog either rest or swap out. I think Jokash coming in here would make sense. You probably don't want Focus to die as well on second thought, because Focus is probably the way you want to kill the 𝗬𝗏𝗃, because it did use this 3-fire move the turn before. Swapping to Jokash gives you Hellfire synergy, which is very big in taking down the potential. We see Jokash coming on this side actually, which is interesting. As we see Riken dip, it could be 𝗬𝗏𝗃. It's actually Roller. It's a good board for Roller to come into. Probably Fiery Wind Burst actually into the Jokash. Roller is just really good into this heavy fire team composition. And you can bring in Saku as well, because Toucan is still present. I suppose you could try to bring it in, but it might be a struggle, because I assume this is a aggro Saku. It doesn't have as much HP as it normally would, so it would not appreciate a Fiery Soul, or find it potentially coming onto its head. Yeah, I don't know what you do to deal with the Roller. You need a Focus to be on the board, but it got removed pretty easily. Toucan actually backs out. We see the Riken coming. The whip onto the Roller is used. Plasma Beam comes out. Kills off the Riken. As we see Hellfire come on. The burn might save the life of Hedgehog. As Stone Ball is used. Does indeed save it actually. And the snare does hit the Roller. The Roller is holding resistance badge from the previous games we have seen. So I guess this is a good turn for the side of Pixxyl. Even though it's a bit rough, we do see the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 coming. Probably going to be harmful microwaves and I don't know. Hope harmful microwaves kills from this health percentage. I don't think it does though, unless it's like a very fast 2K, which I think it is. It's got some speed to it. Though he has some speed attached to it. Maybe if J-Cash needs to okay, so I think if Hedgehog and J-Cash both outspeed the 2K, you can kill it before it moves. But then Roller picks up a kill on whatever slot it wants to. Cage is used. Oh no, J-Cash is stuck here. Plasma Beam does come out there. Noctis Bomb will kill probably the J-Cash. So J-Cash will just drop this turn. If J-Cash had on to Hellfire, you could have Plasma Beamed Hellfire and that just kills the 2-guy, but J-Cash did use the Hellfire a bit early, so which kind of screwed it over. J-Cash relies so heavily on that 3-fire fire move. So if it still had Hellfire, you could kill the 2-guy, or 2-guy before he even moved. Now you have a Pocus and a Saku. Saku, which is not very good into the Toucan that's left over. If you can kill the Toucan somehow, you can solo a Saku, but the issue is that I don't think you can. I don't think you can use that because of the whip block on top of it as well. Yeah, I think Luch kinda just wins here. I'm not sure. Focus would have to outspeed, but it has Tornado now. Tornado would probably... And even though it's not fully special attack invested, Tornado will probably just kill off the Focus here. And Rolda is OX'd, so... You could also opt to just kill the Head Giant as well. I don't know if that's the ideal thing to do here. You could kill Head Giant as the Luch, but then Focus could also opt to kill off the... Oh, it didn't OX, so I had stamina all messed up. So Head Giant picks up the kill on 2K. Focus will kill off the... Oh, it just doesn't do anything. So Focus just rests. Dreaded Alarm is forced onto the order that did OX, so it's basically free damage. Toucan comes in. You see Kamiii be popped on the Evil Ink. Toucan being +1 makes this very difficult. And yeah, it will just kill off the Focus. Focus drops. Luren comes out. That is a very fail Saga Winters. Doesn't do quite enough. And Luch takes game number 1. As we now see what Pixxyl decides to first ban this round. And he sent the invite. I'm so confused. Oh, it's it's late for him, so he's probably, I don't know. Just I guess it's his decision how it Pixxyl be. Sunny for his first ban. This makes Naga a bit better, I guess, to a degree. But 𝗬𝗃 is still present, of course. The Fire Crush band still seems to be the one that Luluch wants to stick with as well. We'll see what Pixxyl decides to go with as well. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is first picked. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 and 𝗬𝗃 is the picks for the side of Luluch. It's pretty good into the side of Naga. That is good into the... We see 𝗬𝗃 being picked up as well for Pixxyl, which straightens out the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 pretty well. Trikash has been banned. It is currently 1-1 wash. 1-0 actually to Luluch, sorry, it's 1-0 to Luluch. He's looking to potentially round out the games. And just move on to grand finals. We'll see what Pixxyl wants to second ban. I don't want to spoil it for the future. As we just see Tulkhan being second ban, Hedgehog is picked up. We'll see what Luluch decides to finish it off with. 𝗀𝗀 is also picked up as well with the Hedgehog. As we see Naga, the 2 mental totems being picked up, Saku is being left behind. As Raikkonen finishes out Luluch's team. So will Pixxyl be knocked out here, or will it be able to get a game back and take it to game number 3? So 𝗬𝗃 versus 𝗬𝗃𝗃 versus 𝗬𝗃 versus 𝗬𝗃𝗃. We do see a whip proc onto the 𝗬𝗃, onto the side of Pixxyl. T-Strike Water Cannon just kills everything here actually. This double kills everything here. The issue is that you lose your 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Your 𝗬𝗃𝗃 will die. So you probably don't want that to happen, as it just backs out. Kuro comes in, as well, Focus is being sacrificed, and 𝗀𝗀 probably comes in here. Yeah, actually the Raikkonen opts to come in. The whip appears onto the 𝗬𝗃. T-Strike will just kill this off. Bye Focus, that's 1 Tem down. Despite Kuro's lightning rod, it still did die. The sparkling bullet, is this? It's slingshot 𝗬𝗃. That's actually so cool. So the slingshot 𝗬𝗃 happens, plus speed, plus special defense. It is now actually pretty fast now. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 comes back in. The whip now it's +3 with no stamina though. This is why whip is a very weird item. It really just messes with your stamina. The way Luluch's using whip has been pretty good, as it's motivated with whip, so it actually offsets some of the loss when it comes in. It's actually very nice. But now 𝗬𝗃 has literally no stamina, and 𝗬𝗃 is not even very good into the 𝗀𝗀 as well. As for Hedgehound's good into Hedgehound's banned to the 𝗀𝗀 as well too. So, and 𝗬𝗃 can't. I guess 𝗬𝗃 can beat this 𝗬𝗃 with its crystal moves, with Sharp Size potential, to just attempt to just take it down. But the 𝗬𝗃 just backs out, probably expecting that to happen. This is a free 𝗬𝗃𝗃 though, however. It's like it's super free, as the Sharp Steps does indeed happen. 𝗬𝗃 comes out. 𝗬𝗃 is not going to appreciate this, but the slingshot might save it, as it does, down to 29.2. Water Cannon comes out, all the way down to 19.9. Now 𝗬𝗃𝗃 has access to the Aquatic Whirlwind. which will just one-shot the Icon most likely. Buttons out the Hedgehog by a lot. And I think he would not like to take that as well. So I'd say Pixxyl is actually in a good spot with the 𝗬𝗵𝗶. I don't know how he kills it. The only way Pixxyl's 𝗬𝗵𝗶 dies is with this two oh, Inky's actually caught out here. And it is just allowed to die. Tsunami comes out, which will take out 𝗧𝗵𝗺 and will bring Icon down to 29.1%. This, however, allows the Inky to come back in and deaden out the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 on the side of Pixxyl. I suppose 𝗬𝗀𝗽 also beats the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 as well. As 𝗬𝗵𝗶 actually cannot touch the 𝗬𝗀𝗽, so this 𝗬𝗵𝗶 can be brought down. It just will take a minute. Inky actually just solos Pixxyl's team to a degree, but Hedgehog will be going first into it, so that could be a problem for Lelouch as well. Well, will it be? Because plus, I think it will be because 𝗬𝗫𝗫 is just so strong now with the new speed changes. This Hedgehog does come out. As the 𝗬𝗀𝗽 comes in, Hedgehog has to leave like immediately. I would imagine Lelouch just lets the Icon die here. Because why would you want to swap in anything to take a potential water attack? Hedgehog probably has to leave as well. Or you could see Naga show up on the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 side to take the, because it is water custodian Naga. So we could see Naga show up. As we will be seeing that show up indeed. 𝗧𝗵𝗶 comes out. Ooh, the Icon is being ignored. Noxious Bomb comes out. Naga takes that up. Hedgehog will not be touched this game. 𝗬𝗪𝗀 comes out. Hits the Hedgehog down to 74.7. The Icon loses its item, which is the whip. Naga makes this actually very, very weird for Lelouch. But I think once again Lelouch just lets the Icon probably die, or just ignore, or just leaves it in. I guess the benefit of this is that actually Lelouch turns like these actually push the Naga and Hedgehog into Hedgehog kill range for Lelouch. And if Lelouch's Hedgehog is just faster than Pixxyl's, then he could just kill it before it even gets to move. Yeah, who is the fast Hedgehog is actually very interesting. Gonna actually probably matter very, very much later on. Let's see what happens this turn. Ties into the 𝗬𝗀𝗽. Again hits the Hedgehog. Down to 44.9. We see 𝗬𝗪𝗀 come out again. Naga's Fury, so we do get a free swap in for the side of Icon, which could be huge. We could also see Inky show up with DC Beam. We could see DC Beam Inky here, which is actually the only 𝗬𝗫𝗫. Yeah, it looks like it's DC Beam Inky to kill off the Hedgehog. Oh no, hold on. 𝗬𝗪𝗀 removes the +1 it does have, so it's not actually speed boosted anymore. I think Lelouch made the swap with the intention of, oh, this should always be Hedgehog, and then Lelouch didn't take into account the 𝗬𝗪𝗀. And I wiped his whip proc, so now he's actually probably slower than Hedgehog. That this might be a soft throw to bring in your Enki here. Because you need Enki to beat the 𝗬𝗃𝗃. You might have to actually swap here. This is actually a bit rough. You have to just swap it back out, I guess. And it would have probably been best for Pixxyl or Luluch if he focused the Naga. Actually, it leaves. As 𝗬𝗃𝗃 comes in, whip onto the Naga. That leaves as well. Big beard procs. We see 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗽𝗃 come out. Even it finishes off the key. I think Luluch loses this round. Unless the only way he wins is if DC 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗴 outspeeds. That's the only way he wins, but then he has to... No, he can't win. It's impossible. Okay, I don't think he can win at least. Nah, it's not happening. I think he's too slow. And there's the DC beam. Even if that did go first, I think you still lose to the head giant in the back most likely. Anyways. Head giant comes out. Unless DC beam outspeeds here. If DC beam outspeeds here, it doesn't happen. Okay. So Enki's just too slow. GG's to both players. Pixxyl ties it 1-1. This is the third match, so it's 1-1 as of right now. So 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is first picked, the same first bands on both sides. So 𝗦𝗵𝗵𝗶 have been removed. We see 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃, the same start I believe from last time on Pixxyl side. As Enki is picked up on the side of Luluch. We'll see Pixxyl opts for the Toolcon first ban again. Or second ban, sorry, again. I gotta explore the future. But now we just see what Pixxyl's second ban. Last game he got rid of the Toolcon, and he got rid of the head giant this time. Doesn't want to deal with it. I actually like that ban a lot, as head giant is just really annoying to deal with. We could see Naga being banned on Pixxyl side, because the water custodian did kind of screw over Luluch quite a couple times. It did. And but he did ban 𝗬𝗃𝗃. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is also still relatively solid. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is okay. So we see head giant bans on both sides. And we see 𝗬𝗃𝗃 being picked up. Naga and 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is allowed to go through. So Toolcon and Roda is picked up. I think this draft kind of favors Pixxyl. If he can get past, I suppose, the Enki, he kind of just does pretty well here. We'll see if Luluch will allow the Enki to get the slingshot again, because last time we saw a slingshot being used on the opposing Enki to proc it's +1/+1/+1. Well, +1/+1/+2 because they hit the 2 speed with the slingshot. So we'll see if Luluch lets that happen again. I wonder if Lelouch also leaves the 𝗂𝗀𝗃 in this turn. We'll see what players want to do. I think 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is definitely going to be swapped out for sure. But does 𝗂𝗀𝗃 swap out is the question, because Lelouch can make the risky read that Pixxyl goes for the slingshot play again and just opts to stay in. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 does lead, this is expected. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 comes in. 𝗂𝗀𝗃 leaves. And Funky out comes in. This is a good board for Funky. We see 𝗧𝗵𝗶 hit the 𝗂𝗀𝗃. T-Strike will hit the 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Down to 70.8, 30%, or 29.2% to be completely specific. But now Roda's actually really liking this board, with these two Tems that are weak to Earth, one of them being ×4 weak to Earth, and that being Inky, and 𝗬𝗃𝗃 being ×2, but it's in kill range for sure. So we might see a double swap potentially, and there is no Hellfire synergy for the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 as Hedgehine was banned. And you can't really swap in mentals as well. I guess you could just go for a Hail Mary Sharp Stabs and Mud Shower into the... Like, Inky Roda is actually very good into Pixxyl. The combination of these two Tems is very strong into Pixxyl, because the mental Tems can't really do much to swap into this, so I think you probably have to do something relatively risky here. So Pocus might get the short of the stick again and just die, but we do see the Inky actually leave. The risks will be taken. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 comes in. Put the heater puck onto the Pocus. Sandstorm comes out. Decent damage on both the target. Pocus eats the Stone Ball, not very well. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is spared, as Lelouch went for the more obvious target and it backfired on him. Pocus will probably die before getting to move again, as Fiery Soul is a move. 3 prio, very nice, pretty strong. But if Pocus is somehow allowed to move, it probably will hit the Gamma Burst into the side of Funky, That is also a possibility. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 actually just backs out. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 comes in. This is a good spot for 𝗬𝗃𝗃 to be in, that is for sure. Whip might allow Pocus to move, it doesn't. Tragic. I respect the attempt though, as speed doesn't matter as much as it used to. Snowball comes out onto the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 as well. Down to 75.1, plus the burn, 68.9, and the other one, you'll drop it to 63.4, I believe. I think it's 6.5%. So 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is essentially at 63.4% HP. I guess you could look to bring in Naga this turn. I think actually you could go 𝗬𝗃𝗃, because you need to be aware of Inky swapping in potentially as well. And you probably will double the Funky Hell, I believe. I don't think he OX. If he did, I missed it. But I do believe the Roda didn't OX, so you probably want to double the Roda this time. But we do see Naga come in. The issue with doing this is that Inky is kind of allowed to show up. I have a field day. But for this turn specifically, this is very good. This is as strong as you can have a board if you're Pixxyl into Lelouch. And this lets you also get Naga's Fury turn early as well. I suppose if your Naga is no, you can't Hypno the Inky because of the counter mount that is on it. So Cage, so preemptive Cage, expecting to die here. This allows Inky to come in. You see a 𝗂𝗀𝗃 go in, probably onto the 𝗂𝗃𝗃. Just drops it. So probably a double kill for the side of Pixxyl this time. Well, Inky gets to kill whoever he wants to kill. think Inky will go for the Naga. The issue is that Pixxyl's Inky still is +1. Actually, this looks very good for Pixxyl, because his Inky is still +1. He's Fizz Master, so his sharp stabs will hurt the other Inky very, very well. But hit it very, very well. So I guess the play here is to damage the Inky, put it into sharp stabs range. Definitely Naga is definitely dead. 110% Naga is going to die here. He's gonna DC beam to ensure that that the Noxious Bombs, the Screen Zone Noxious Bombs, will not be hidden, will not be redirected by Pixxyl's Naga. But the issue is that Pixxyl's Inky is +1, and with it being +1, it probably outspeeds this 𝗬𝗀𝗽, which stops it from even being able to attack in the first place, which can be pretty huge. And I believe his Inky is faster than Luluch's as well, so I believe his is actually just faster in general, so even a higher chance to outspeed the 𝗬𝗀𝗽. So I think you probably just hit the Inky if you're Pixxyl, put it into sharp stab range for your own Inky, and then you just finish off the 𝗬𝗀𝗽. Your Jakash does well into the Inky and the Raikkonen in the back, and I think you just win the game. But we'll see if he goes with that play. I guess it's the only play he could go for anyways. It's not like you can attack the 𝗬𝗀𝗽 with 𝗬𝗏𝗃 anyways in the first place. We see 𝗬𝗀𝗽 actually leave, and the Raikkonen comes in. The whip shows up, T-strike onto the Naga to take it out. The +1 on that Inky makes things a bit interesting though, but I do believe that Pixxyl's Inky is just faster regardless, so it doesn't even matter. So I think it's just an easy sharp stabs aquatic whirlwind turn if you're Pixxyl, and I think even if it guarantees a kill somewhere, something dies, but your cash actually comes in, which is actually pretty good as well, because aquatic whirlwind should outspeed this Inky. The thing though is that DC beam can be clicked, and I don't know how much that does to the 𝗬𝗏𝗃. I don't know my DC beam Inky calcs that well. Going Jakashi is also very good. This is like the ideal time to bring it out. Because it can't die to anything. And it threatens both of these Tems, and it will just kill the Inky as well. So you see Inky actually retreat, so that means Raikkonen will probably be dying this turn. No, he doubled. Oh no. I don't think this matters too much, to be honest. It should have been the other way around, I feel like, but I don't think it matters that drastically. So we see Quetzal onto the 𝗬𝗏𝗃. You have to swap the Inky out, the Jakash out? No, you don't actually, you don't. You don't have to do anything this turn actually. I think Inky can 2v1. And 𝗂𝗏𝗃 also takes away the +1 on Luluch's Inky as well. So I think you just kill one Tem, and then just your Inky just wins the game. So I think Pixxyl will be taking the series. So I can backstop. This is probably an attempt to reapply the whip to Luluch's Inky. But yet, +1 speed is now wiped. Tsunami comes out. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 OXs. Cool. 2K outspeeds the Jakash to kill it off. Now we see Inky come in. Lucia's playing this pretty well despite... If Pixxyl just caught it going the Raikon the turn before and just killed it off, then I think Pixxyl just takes it. But now things are getting a bit dicey. Because... Oh no, I think Pixxyl might have thrown by not killing one Tem. Because... Yeah, I don't know. DC Beam. He didn't sharp steps. And he got outsped. Yeah, he lost. Oh. He DC'd. Oh, that's a DC. What? Oh no. It looks like it was a DC or time? What happened there? That doesn't even kill. Well, Lelouch goes through on what appears to be a DC. And a couple unfortunate Tem.